request your presence in the cockpit to discuss a priority matter. A significant anomaly has been detected by onboard sensors. This unit has cross-checked all data points and verified the findings. Horizon Point Station has reappeared. This unit has been continuously analyzing and reanalyzing the data since this conversation began. There is no error. Based on energy readings, Horizon Point has been reconstituted by the Protectorate's large-scale rift modulator, thus confirming the Archive's theory. While present data does not indicate if Horizon Point poses an immediate threat, a survey of the reconstituted station is advised as soon as possible. Calculating. According to the Archive, closing all rifts requires locating the Protectorate's large-scale rift modulator and inputting the rift data processed by the Archive. However, before navigating to Horizon Point Station, it is recommended you conclude all other affairs. Leaving will be highly unlikely due to the high levels of rift energy. That is a correct assessment, Commander. In the meantime, Commander, it is worth considering your lack of formal alliances. Without Auntie's choice or the Order's help, you will have to face Horizon Point's dangers alone. Failure to make proper preparations raises the likelihood of death and serious injury occurring. Agents are encouraged to establish themselves as a friend to colonists and other local entities. These relationships can be effective points of exploitation at a later date. It appears Horizon Point Station is still in the process of being reconstituted. The rift itself is also more unstable than ever. As a result, landing closer to the location of the Protectorate's large-scale rift anomaly modulator is not possible. In order to modify it with the rift data you processed in the Archive, you will need to travel to its location on foot and seize it from Protectorate control. The energy readings from the modulator can be traced to the Sovereign's flagship, Providence, hovering on the far side of the station. Hypothesizing. Given Protectorate hierarchy and the recent announcement about the Sovereign's mental refreshment, this is likely the Consul's doing. He will need to be stopped.
A would-be tyrant doing something tyrannical. Who could have seen this coming?
The Consul's motives are unknown. While destruction may be the result, it may not be the goal. Warning. The rift is growing dangerously unstable. Using the rift modulator on board the Providence is the only way to prevent certain destruction of the colony.
I can foresee a few likely instances where you could use my skills and experience.
Once the modulator is secured, it may be used to close the rift and save Arcadia and all those in its orbit. There is minimal room for error, Commander. Good luck. Alert. Failure to match nearby hostiles to known Protectorate biological signatures.
Yes, that's definitely the Sovereign's ship.
Life support.
Capacitor out. Get it while it's energized. Standing by, Mr. You've suffered extensive damage, Commander.
Strive to perform better.
And we can always suffer if it's warm to visit now.
Without the rift modulator, I doubt we'd make much progress here.
Plasma hazard ahead. Please seek an alternate route.
Wasn't sure that'd work. Investigating hostile intentions. Standing by to stupefy. Capacitor. You've suffered extensive damage, Commander.
Promoting teammate health.
Thank you, dear. Energy capacitor out. Energy is up for grabs. Consider self-preservation a priority.
N-ray. Exposure. Under medic. Functioning.
A voice match has been found for Agent Pascal. However, Agent Pascal is dead. This unit may need maintenance.
Get away from me. See them? They were my teammates and they didn't listen neither. You'll end up just the same.
Agent Pascal is exhibiting 27 indicators of high mental and emotional distress. Caution is advised.
Wait. Commander? Is that you? No. No, this must be some kind of trick. Law, what's happening to me? So it is you. Thank Law. I don't understand what happened, Commander. Something was wrong with Sandoval and Jepson. They glowed like they were aflame. They ran in, jumped at me, clawed at me. Law, I had to kill them.
That sounds consistent with the other reconstituted troops we've come across. How do you suppose she is different?
I don't understand what's happening. Everything was fine. Till the explosion. I was pinned. Fire closed in. I tried to move. I tried to find the rookie. Then the whole station shook and tore apart. And then... nothing.
This woman was alive when the rift consumed the station. That's the key piece of data here. Thus, the modulator reconstructed her in the same state. Alive. Although, hardly well.
Wait. There was something else. Sandoval was yelling. DeVries wasn't responding to comms. What happened? Law, I knew something was the matter. Tell me. Tell me everything. Rifts? Like this one above us? Law. We knew they had something big up their sleeves. Bastards. So this rift, is that why I'm like this? So I've come back from death to some warped version of life? All because of some twisted experiment? Is that about right? You can help me though. Right, Commander? You can do something to fix this. Boyd. This is it, ain't it? I'll never see the sun again. Never fly in our ship. Never anything. Makes two of us. But maybe you could do me one final favor. End this for me? I don't think I can do it myself. Please. I'm unsure. I trust your aim is as good as ever, Commander. I'm ready. I'll just wait here for you. Go on.
The Sovereign's ship up close. I believe we can safely assume he's not on it, or on that rover approaching the skip lab.
Still
detected more enemy use. Engagement imminent. Protocol surveillance down.
Further damage, Commander.
Dispensing preserving medicine.
Worry.
This patiently awaits repair.
Sweeping. Appreciate our perfect life of N-ray. Exposure. Undermining. Functioning. You can't fight contentment.
Resorting to violence.
Despite the low probability of such an occurrence, a rift and a plasma hazard are directly blocking our path to the Sovereign's ship. Suggest we scour the area. The scientists here were unlikely near the caliber of the Order, but perhaps they left something useful.
This is Scientist Bernard Rand, sent to Horizon Point Station by order of the Council. While monitoring the reconstitution, I picked up strange readings in the old skip lab. The core appears to be pulling plasma tightly around it, not unlike a planet and its moons. Fascinating, though it thwarts my attempts to gather more data. Fortuitously, in searching the remains of the lab, I found an equation that could manipulate the core just enough to clear the chamber. And my way to professional acclaim. Let this be a record of Protectorate ingenuity. Bernard Rand, the man who marched fearlessly into chaos and tamed it.
Confirmed what I expected from Protectorate scientists. And that we'll need that equation to clear our path further.
This unit excels at statistical analysis. It is not programmed to solve theoretical math.
Weapon ready, Commander.
Enemy moving into harm's way. From me.
Energy capacitor out. Energy is up for grabs.
be the Sovereign's off. Apparently, the Sovereign solved the equation? However unlikely that seems, I'll take it.
Please input this equation in the Skip Lab terminal at your earliest convenience.
Splendid. Rift secure.
Our projections are off by orders of magnitude. Sovereign, save us. Answer and hypothesis was correct all along. The results from the...
Standing by to stupefy. The catheter out. Get it while it's inside. Try to limit further down.
Maintaining protocols not yet charged. Ready to assist with agent's health needs.
Commander, throw energy your way. Proceeding to attack. Take that rover. All we need to do next is infiltrate the Sovereign's ship, stop the console, and obtain the rift modulator. So, typical day on the job from here. Investigating hostile intentions.
Intruder alert. Be vigilant.
Notice. Reinforcements have arrived.
I'm done darling broken. Try to limit further damage, Commander. Capacitor deployed. Free energy if you can reach it. Taking cover. Suffered extensive damage, Commander. Vitals are in the red, Commander.
Protocols not yet sharp. Standing by with life support.
Moving to safety.
Capacitor out.
Get it while it's inside. I must reload.
Dispensing life-preserving medicine.
Agent, I suspected those signs of open conflict owed to you. Come, let us coordinate.
Disruptive influences!
Hostile.
Capacitor unit away. Vitals critical. Don't become a statistic, Commander.
unit is rated to address any of your needs. If your needs are emotional, rest assured that any silences on this unit's behalf are accepting and understanding. Please make a request. Displaying inventory.
What remains of Horizon Point should yield much in the way of science, once the threat of the rift is neutralized. But that is for the future. Proceed with our plan. I will rejoin you soon.
We could do this the hard way or the smart way. Either works for me. Proceeding to attack. Your way. Got nothing ready, Command. Consider self-preservation a priority.
Providing aim.
Ratcheting up my aggression. Would not refuse medical support.
Promoting teammate health.
Thank you, dear. Mobilizing. Go for torpification. Preparing obligatory encouragement.
You can do it, Commander.
We either find access credentials or stick to the shadows then. Both options are certainly more efficient than raucous hostilities. Now to find the rift modulator. I estimate there's a 73.47% chance it's nearby.
Did you not hear the intruder alert from the crew deck? This is a very poor time to be loitering somewhere you should not. You'd best present a very convincing reason for your presence, lest I order our automechs to smear you across the floor. Oh, are you a rift specialist? You should share your progress with Chief Scientist Montserrat. He's in the rift chamber. Here, I'll lend you my access credentials as proof of your authorization.
Attention, science deck. Authorized visitor aboard.
Here. Rift specialist, are you? What exactly was it you needed? I'm rather short on time, as a gander outside might tell you. Yeah, well, we all have urgent needs. And mine is to keep my lab and hopefully the rest of this system from falling apart. I need the modulator for my own analysis. You can wait. So you are familiar with the work we're doing? Tell me, what do you make of our experimentations? So then you've come to the same conclusions as I. Though, you're not the one I must convince to deviate from this mess that we're in. Our situation is far more dire than it may seem. There is no proof that Rift data can be stabilized or even edited. The Consul's plan will fail completely. But he no longer listens to me, which is distressing. I've prepared a report for him showing how the very structure of the modulator makes what we're attempting impossible. But I doubt he will pay it much mind. Yes, but as I said, I fear the report won't do any good. It's clear you aren't bound with the same rules as the rest of us somehow. If he won't hear me out, perhaps a third party will have more luck. Here, use this keycard on the module over there. It will allow you to download my report and grant you access to the control deck. I hope you're able to sway him, because if you don't, we're all dead. A deck up in the control room. The console is the only one who has the means of controlling it, which makes your persuading him that much more necessary. Go now.
Accessing report. Rift restoration analysis. Compiled by Chief Scientist Montserrat. Marked for delivery to Consul Thoreau.
Esteemed Consul, after much analysis, my conclusion is that the modulator we have worked tirelessly to build will not function as intended when used for reconstituting matter from rifts. Every test of reconstitution has resulted in demonstrable failure. Proceeding as we are now with Horizon Point Station will surely lead to severe, unanticipated consequences. The modulator is only effective at closing rifts from unsafe distances. Using it to close exacerbated rifts will certainly lead to the destruction of any vessel carrying it. Unfortunately, the data that we originally had hoped for from the ancient rifts detected in the far reaches of space untouched by humanity has not yielded any of its secrets. And we are now out of time. All of our recent readings suggest that we're on the verge of losing control of this rift. I recommend diverting from our current plan before it is too late for Arcadia. I've included extensive notes and annotations appended to the modulator schematics to substantiate these conclusions. I know you will guide us wisely, my dear Consul.
Schematics acquired. However, the information contained here also indicates the existence of rifts beyond where humanity has traveled. This does not compute. Finding the console should remain your top priority, Commander. Please postpone any existential crises for a later date.
Your punctuality is as commendable as ever. How did you fare in securing the rift modulator? Yet one more hindrance to overcome in this endeavor. Nevertheless, I expect you to guard those plans closely in the interim. Did you find anything else of note? When one learns information that rattles their understanding of the universe, one may take a moment to consider the gravity of said information. We know that rifts are only caused by skip drives, so if they are appearing in non-colonized space, then this is truly momentous. It proves definitively that life did not originate on Earth, and may, in fact, exist elsewhere in other forms. I concur. This is a discussion for later, with laureates in attendance. For now, we must confront the Consul before he wrests that future away forever. He is just through those doors. I have run the numbers, and should you wish to negotiate with the Consul, you must be strategic. He will not react well to a direct attack on his character or methods early on. You handled Wiley well enough. This man is only an iteration of the same hubris. The situation is more likely to devolve into violence than not, but I am willing to give this solution a chance, if only to observe what arguments you construct.
We'd be losing the element of surprise, so if you want to negotiate, let's not muck it up.
You should take this time to prepare, replenish your supplies, explore your environment for any advantages. Consider what options you may have in the event negotiations fail. And if there is anything more you need to say to me or your companions, I encourage you to divest yourself of these diversionary thoughts while you still can.
The Sovereign was a naive fool. Consuls, scheming sprat with delusions of competence. Time will tell which was more destructive.
The distinguished presiding bishop herself has deigned to join us. What a charming surprise. I might have known you'd enlist the nearest rabble in reach to crusade against me. Loyalty has eluded you for years, after all. Sentinels, if you would.
Greater numbers, greater odds. It was necessary to combat the irrationality of your foolish endeavor. By failing to show reason, you have lost your edict to rule. Now, stand down.
What's the matter with you? Have your wits been dulled? I am doing what is necessary to save Arcadia, and I'll start by ridding it of trespassers like you. Do not place his decision at my feet. I know it's difficult for the likes of you to fathom the concept of self-sacrifice, but he chose mental refreshment for the good of us all. And what am I to do but carry on his legacy? What am I to do but achieve what he could not? I'll only be killing a select number permanently. The worthy, however, will be resurrected and reformed so they may reach their full potential. Open your mind, Commander. Yes, I know well who you are. In any other situation, I might be compelled to take you apart and see how precisely it is you operate, but time, it would seem, isn't on your side. You are a relic of an impotent institution, propelled forward by nothing more than luck and foolhardy metal. Oh, I'm sure you believe yourself capable. Tell me, did you manage to stop us from bringing your peace talks to a swift end? As I recall, Greater Tranquility was reduced to little more than mangled ruins in a single moment.
Greater Tranquility Station was a test?
It was a modest success. I had hoped it'd hobble Auntie's choice in the Order once and for all, but it has proven to be a valuable lesson in patience. I was able to buy the time to enact the very plan before you. Though, judging from that vacant expression on your face, it would appear you've no idea what I intend. Very well. Once the rift destroys Arcadia, we shall edit the information stored within it and use the modulator to reshape our colony into its perfect form. Horizon Point's destruction all those years ago was a tragedy, yes, but without it, we might never have opened our eyes to our true purpose and the possibility of Arcadia's rebirth. When the matriarch discovered the first skip drive, she set us on a course to elevate humanity. We're now writing our path, and I will do my part as the architect intended.
Now that I have clarified that for you, perhaps you'll be so kind as to help me understand what you meant by the matriarch discovering the skip drive.
Indeed. In the matriarch's younger years, she discovered a crashed ship deep in the Earth, and in it, the very first skip drive known to humanity. She dissected this tech, learned its secrets, and enabled us to produce them en masse. And, well, that eventually led to the manifestation of rifts. But it was not until well after Horizon Point's untimely end that we understood the opportunity gifted us. The opportunity to reconstruct the colony in its perfect form. It is as the Grand Architect designed. And believe you me, I've no intention of letting you thwart our securing of a better future. One free of doubt and greed. I've found when most people haven't a leg to stand on, they fall back into performative insouciance in an attempt to redirect the conversation. Always brazen, rarely effective. Listen closely. This is the work of the Grand Plan, guiding us toward humanity's ascension. Everything exists for this purpose. Since you took your time scurrying about my ship, presumably rifling through our things, I assume you also found information about the far-off rifts in untraversed space. That alone should tell you that we don't make our own circumstances. It seems they were made by the ship our matriarch found. A curiosity, isn't it? Without this discovery, we may never have realized the power we now possess with the rifts. Yes, the great architect works in mysterious ways. What else can I do but what is bidden? I'm unconcerned with the flesh. The mind is what's important. And anyway, it'll take more than that weapon of yours to pierce this armor. Far more. Now, as fascinating as your pseudo-intellectual musings have been to witness, I've reached my limit.
Emergency protocol. Providing a host. Fortifying it. Dispensing you are making an alarming promoting teammates.
Thank you. Capacitor to...
Apologies. Emergency protocols unready.
If the readouts are to be believed, the rift is on the verge of destabilizing completely. But the rift modulator cannot be operated from this distance. It must be flown into the rift.
That was a rather substantial hole in my predictions. These rifts have presented an excessive supply of incalculable variables.
Though it may be troubling to you, this conclusion holds no uncertainty. Someone present must do this. This is not possible. There is no set destination we can command the ship to fly to. The flying and the activation of the modulator must be done manually. I will take the schematics back with me, and, using the processed rift data, of course, the Order will begin production of more modulators that can be operated at a safe distance.
The Earth Directorate is here to help you.
Your death will not be wasted effort. I will work with Auntie personally to protect Arcadia, and ensure your sacrifice is remembered for the selfless action it is.
The results of that test of leadership and character don't surprise me. And so it falls to others You know, I spent decades doing everything asked of me, and I was just starting to enjoy not doing that.
Reminder, self-destructing is not permitted by this unit's programming. Addendum. Tampering with this protocol will result in your Valerie unit shutting down.
If only we all shared the same programming. I recognize there may be no one better suited to get the job done. But honestly, after all these years, I think I finally have something to live for. If there's nobody else, then mission accepted.
This unit ranks Agent Delgado among the team's top 3 most effective members. Her loss will reduce the team's overall competency.
Yes, do enjoy everything. I only ask everyone who leaves here today to remember my favorite number. Pi to the 1000th decimal.
Vigilant Hogarth was declared a traitor to the Protectorate, along with most other Westport townsfolk. They were judged according to the paradigm, then sentenced to be executed until dead, forever tied to the city they could not protect. Zebulon Tran was apprehended plotting against the Protectorate and sent to mental refreshment. Reluctant to name collaborators, he was subjected to the lathe at its highest setting. He emerged as the perfect Protectorate subject, with no memory of either Niles or his sister. Having died at the peace talks, Augustine DeVries' treachery was never known to the Earth Directorate. She is forever remembered as the star agent who tragically went missing during her mission. Val continued to serve the commander of the Incognito faithfully, for many more years than should be possible, giving automechs like her everywhere a reputation as stable and reliable. As a result, more Valerie units were put into service, while fewer human agents were deployed into the field. Niles remained torn about the Earth Directorate and his place in it. His victory at the reconstituted Horizon Point turned to ash in his mouth when he learned that his friend, Zebulon Tran, was captured while attempting a heist on the tomb of the matriarch. Niles slipped away from the Incognito one evening to attempt to free Zebulon from mental refreshment and make amends for the past. He was never seen or heard from again. Marisol sacrificed herself to save Arcadia. And while many found it unbelievable that a once legendary assassin would make such a selfless choice, her crewmates on the Incognito understood completely. Forced to think for themselves after a lifetime of luxurious certainty, Protectorate hardliners banded together to preserve their society. Without the Order or the corporatists controlling Arcadia, they had a real chance at making a comeback. Sovereign Varric was eventually discovered in mental refreshment in a placid and compliant state. All parties felt it would be best to leave him in the hands of the remaining Protectorate, who had the most experience with refreshment's process and victims. Despite the recent tumultuous events in Arcadia, it was business as usual for Free Market Station. Sub Rosa continued to supply the colony in the wake of the commander's actions. With unfettered access to skip drives and beholden to no one, the Earth Directorate became what it was always meant to be, the ultimate authority in Arcadia. The colony served as a base to expand the agency's reach across the galaxy. Meanwhile, the Earth Directorate controlled Arcadia with little trouble for a time, successfully rebranding it as a society free of corporate or government overreach. Yet, as the years passed, the Arcadians saw fewer and fewer differences between the Earth Directorate and their previous overlords. All of these events turned on the decisive actions of the Earth Directorate Agent and their unique way of navigating Arcadia, its disparate factions, social complexities, ubiquitous product placement, and arsenal of absurdly satisfying weaponry. But through it all, and to this day, Earth has remained inexplicably dark.